Anyways, I finally came back from Christmas shopping, and I decided that Link's Awakening isn't actually worth... Oh my... Are you kidding me? Santa has that stupid calendar! Oh my... Oh no!
Russ has been very naughty, and Santa called him out on this. He's forced to play bad Switch games every day until Christmas. If he can survive this task, Santa will change his mind. Can he make it through all of them, and in the end, what will he find?
Day 5 of me being forced to play the worst Switch games. This thing just won't leave me alone. But let's get this over with so I can get on with my day. Nickelodeon kart racers? But I love Nickelodeon. Can it really be that bad? Nickelodeon kart racers. 1. There are 3 Nickelodeon kart racer games, not including Garfield Kart. The first game in this series is the lowest rated one, and the second and third one, while they aren't the best kart racers, they did learn some lessons from the first game. But today we're looking at the first game, as it was rated lower than the other 2. But what made this first game so reputably bad? Let's find out. I'm actually going to be disappointed if this is really that bad, and definitely a lot of loading screens though. First, the main menu. We have single player, multiplayer, and the shop. The fonts are really ugly. Let's start with single player. We can choose between Grand Prix, Free Race, and Time Attack. Let's do the Free Race. Oh wow, there's actually a lot of fun looking Nickelodeon tracks. There's more than I expected, and there's a lot of SpongeBob. So let's go to the Glovey Gloves Festival of Lights, a Christmas themed one, and I think that's pretty fitting. The character models look pretty stiff. There's like no shading, but at least they're all pretty unique. SpongeBob has his boat, Sandy has a rocket, Tommy has a Reptar car, oh, and there's Reptar. It'd be fun if you had a Tommy car. Whoever made this character roster had it pretty easy, making 4 turtles and just changing their colors. It's almost like Nintendo with their 9 Koopalings. Let's pick Patrick. Looks like we have to watch him eat janky ice cream before the match. I could choose to change parts here if I had any, but I don't. This stage actually looks pretty decent. The lighting looks a lot better here than in the character selection screen. But now that we've loaded in carts, it's definitely lowered the frame rate. It's targeting 60, but definitely doesn't have a problem going under 30. Now that there's a lot less carts on the screen, it's running a bit smoother. This is your standard Mario Kart fare. You can drift with the shoulder buttons and launch projectiles you pick up at other players. As you run over the patches of slime, you build up your boost meter. And that's kinda neat. The animations are pretty good actually. The karts and the characters have a lot of personality to them. And from first impressions, this seems like a pretty decent kart racer, but a little floaty in the physics department. In terms of graphics, everything looks pretty good. The karts have crisp shadows, and the stages look decent. Let's try Bikini Bottom and crank the speed to expert to see how it changes things up. Why does everyone eat when you select them? This stage seems to be running better. I don't seem to be experiencing any slowdown that I noticed before. I wonder if it's just on some tracks. This track looks great though. But what's really disappointing is that there's no voice acting for these characters. These are all cartoon characters, so this should be full of voice acting. Instead, we just have all these little silent speech bubbles when the characters get hit. Actually, the same thing happened in Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl when it released. I guess they didn't learn their lesson from this game. Eventually, they did add voice acting to the most recent title, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3, but it's 2 titles too late. Actually, taking a second look at the character roster, it's pretty lackluster. Only 4 Nickelodeon series are represented here: SpongeBob, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, and Ninja Turtles. It would have been nice to have more variety. Fans of other series kinda got shafted in this one. And the lighting on some of these tracks are pretty impressive for a Switch game from all the way back in 2018, from a third-party developer, especially for one that's so critically panned as this one. I may just not be remembering properly, but I don't think any of this music is from any of the shows. Did they just write generic music for the games? I wonder if they ran into licensing issues. But the only reason you'd buy a game like this is for the licenses, so it really feels like you're not getting what you paid for. As for sound effects, the tire screech from drifting really gets annoying after a while. Let's give Grand Prix a look. It's really just a collection of theme tracks right after each other, but maybe there's something extra to it. After finishing the race, we leveled up and got to do a bonus track, which unlocked some random kart parts. That's actually kinda cool. Now let's check out the multiplayer. 2-player wasn't bad, it actually ran smoother than I expected, but this also had 4-player local multiplayer, and oh boy, might be hard to see in this video, but there's a huge delay on making a selection on the character screen. But once in game, it actually runs pretty decently, though it's definitely taken a visual hit. It looks like a lot of the lighting and shadows are gone. There's just not much unique about this game. The whole time I was playing it, I just kind of wished I was playing Mario Kart or Crash Team Racing. While it's not terrible, I think if they improved the roster and added voice acting and all that stuff, it would have stood apart from the other Mario Kart clones. And that seemed to be what critics thought too, as they gave it an average 41 on Metacritic. While this game now going on sale for about $9 on the eShop every once in a while, it's really not a bad purchase. But at the time it came out, you'd be better off spending your money on a game like Mario Kart. But what do you think? Did you have fond memories with Nickelodeon kart racers? Let me know in the comments, and if you like these kind of videos, make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you later.